Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Douglas Borthwick. I'm the Chief Business Officer at INX, and today I am delighted to bring on Lee Baker. He's the CEO of Advent Entertainment. As you know, Advent Entertainment is a offering that we have right now live on our platform, and it's open to accredited investors in the US and everyone outside the US. I urge you to take a look. But today it's about, what exactly is Advent Entertainment? Who's Lee Baker? Who's his team? And I'll push it over to you, Lee. Tell me all about who you are.
First off, thank you so much for having me on. I'm thrilled to be working with INX. My background and experience is heavily in the film, television, animation, and visual effects worlds. I've had the opportunity to work on a lot of film projects over the years, and then we have developed a slate of projects with partners both in-house as well as incredible people like Stan Lee, and we've been able to get a slate of films ready that will help us to really compete at the highest levels in the world.
That sounds pretty cool. Lee, what's your background otherwise? I mean, normally you're behind the camera rather than in front of it, so I know you're probably uncomfortable right now. But what sort of things have you worked on yourself?
I've had the opportunity to work on quite a few things. So we worked on Race to Witch Mountain, the film a long time ago. We had the opportunity also to be the lead house on a TV show called Pushing Daisies. We worked on Grimm and Trauma. On the video game side, we worked on G.I. Joe. We built a project for the Pirates of the Caribbean. We worked on Stuart Little. And so we've had a lot of opportunity to work on visual effects and animation. And then my team has been very involved, in large productions. The head of my team, his name's Jerem Sidwell, and we'll talk a little bit more about him. Worked at Weta, where he was on Avatar, Avengers, Superman, and worked on a lot of the largest productions that the world's seen. We love the fact that we can take our experience and put it into this package and provide an opportunity for people to come in and truly be a part of Hollywood. From beginning to end, and also participate in the profits.
Well, as far as I know, this is the first ever security token where you've gone out there and you've said, listen, we want people, a community to come behind us and invest in this. And it sounds like a great opportunity. The last I read, the Marvel universe is valued at something like $27 to $53 billion, which is big numbers. And you've got a slate here that could become the next Marvel. So I think it's very exciting. Anyway, why don't we roll the video? I think you've got a video here that talks about Advent robots. So why don't we roll that and let's take a look and show it to everyone.
Great.
Well, that's pretty exciting.
I love seeing that. Every time I look through that and see that video, it gives me chills. This is a project that I'm personally very passionate about. I've been working on it for a few years now. We put together a script. I wrote it myself. It's about the rise of artificial intelligence to save humanity. So it's the reverse of Terminator. They're not here to kill us. They're here to actually help us. And in the pilot episode, a meteor hits the Earth. And the only ones that survive, it hits in the middle of the United States. It's a continent-destroying meteor, and the only ones that survive are the people that got underground deep enough, or in military bunkers, or got into a rocket in outer space. And when they come out, there are these rivers of black all across the destroyed landscape. And And these rivers don't follow gravity. They'll go up into buildings and rubble and try to find people. And then out of them come these creatures that are alien, and they're just destroying everything human. And the humans and the animals, nothing can survive until this one young boy whose father was an expert at artificial intelligence robotics builds the first truly sentient living robot. That robot then sides with the humans, and together the robots and the humans launch, a fight back to save our planet. Now, this project, it is one of the first that we're pushing out. We've been pitching it. I have a great relationship with Rosario Dawson. We've been able to go out to several studios and pitch together. We're looking to get this thing into production early next year, and part of the financing that we're getting through this is going to be to seed this series itself. And so we're excited about these robots. We've also taken and already invested quite a bit of our own funds into this project, and we want to use this to start a full community. We want to be able to involve all of you in our productions. And so we've created an NFT campaign. You can look it up. It's called Advent Robots. You can go to adventrobots.com. You can see that. We're involving other communities. We recently joined with another one called Slick City. And so we're pulling communities together to give people the opportunity to truly participate, from beginning to end on a production of this scale. That's awesome.
So you and Rosario right now, right? They're pitching it to the studios, and you'll see what picks up.
That's right. And so, now, sorry, go ahead.
Right. Well, I was thinking, but now Advent Robots is one thing that you're working on, and then the other one obviously is Stan Lee's Legion of Five. Now, Legion of Five is very exciting to me as well because not a lot of people have heard of it. I had to Google it the first time I heard about it, and it seems like this is something that Stan Lee came up with. It's a whole new universe, completely separate from Marvel, and it's been underdeveloped. It hasn't been developed yet, and so you've got 50% of the IP in this, and now you're going to be taking this and you're developing in this, and this is in turn what the Advent Entertainment Token's for. It's for seeding you to be able to promote both of these different IPs to really create these new universes to get people excited.
Exactly. And a handful of other ones. We have animation projects. We have a couple of period pieces as well. But let me give you a little bit of background on our relationship with Stan Lee.
Maybe we could show the poster while you're doing this for Legion of Five. But this is here we go. This is from Stan.
Yeah, years ago, Stan Lee created his own company called POW Entertainment. Opportunity to work with him. We'd previously worked on a Spider-Man video game cover, which he really loved. He loved how we positioned Spider-Man. And so he hired us. We did an illustration. So here's a picture of the Spider-Man that we had put together. But then he hired us to work with his company and to give it a look and a feel that was unique and about him and his comic books and the world that he had. And so we developed that. We made him look like Spider-Man. And so we developed this relationship, and in like most industries, everything is about who you know and the relationships that you develop. And so we created a great relationship with Stan. Then over the years, we had an opportunity, as a company to initially become the visual effects company for this upcoming show that he created called Legion of Five. Then we joined right with him as partners. And I wrote the draft screenplay. So he created the characters. We have 5 unique new superhero characters that are young, created by Stan Lee.
I think we've got the cover art for Legion of Five, don't we?
We do have a poster here, I think, as well. And so we created some concept posters as well for Legion of Five. And some of the initial artwork. We've actually, because we do video games, quite regularly, we've created a lot of 3D assets as well. And so we've started this shows a little bit of our video game history, where you can see, we worked on a bunch of different games, Pirates of the Caribbean, G.I. Joe. We did something for Shrek, did a game called Advent Rising. And so we've done a lot of work in this area, but then we created this project. And so Legion of Five. And just to give an understanding, for those of you who don't know the name Stan Lee, Stan Lee is the creator of most of the characters in the Marvel Universe. So he created the Hulk, Iron Man, Spider-Man, the Avengers themselves, Thor, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, all of these projects. And what we have is we have something very unique. We have something that Stan Lee created on his own, wanting to bring to the world that was outside of the Marvel universe. And so it creates a whole new universe and has that same Stan Lee amazing character. And as you look into these characters, they're great. They're not like all powerful. They have their frailties, they have their problems, they're young, they're inexperienced. And so they have to come together to fight a group that the military can't control. And so they're relying on these young new superheroes, and it creates this fascinating story. And so it's something that we do really want to bring to the world.
That sounds incredible. And can you tell me about your team? I think we've got a photograph of your teammate.
Yeah. So the two of us that lead the company, I'm the CEO, and then Jerem is the head of our production. Little bit about me. I've had the opportunity to work on quite a few films, television shows throughout my experience. Jerem, like I said a little bit at the beginning, he had worked at Weta Digital in New Zealand for a little while, where he got to work on Avatar, on Avengers, on Superman, on X-Men, a lot of the greatest, highest grossing films that the world has seen. And then we now have a company called Advent FX, where we offer our services to Hollywood. And so we're hired by the studios to make their films look great. And so as we've put all of this together and developed our own slate, we want to take the skills that we have and make our products and productions compete on this level that is right there with the studios that hire us.
So I mean, Ned, it seems like you've spent all of this time getting the experience working on these large blockbuster movies and video games, and now you've acquired the IP, and now you want to develop it in the same way that you've seen others develop it.
Exactly. And on our team, it's not just Jerem and myself. We have a lot of people that are highly skilled. Keith Merrill, the Academy Award winner, he's on our team. He's an advisor. He comes in, he helps make sure everything's in order. I have a long-term relationship with him, and it's just a great thing. What I'm excited about, some people have looked at the project right now. It released a short while ago on INX, about a week and a half ago or so, and they say, "Oh, you haven't done all this marketing." Just you wait and see what we're going to do with marketing. I also want to bring Keith, the Academy Award winners, people that have done incredibly well in visual effects and animation, bring them into our Discord, bring them into our conversations so that you could really get to see them and get to feel what we're bringing to the world. And also, as you do get in, want to make it so that you can actually participate in the projects. Like, for example, in the TV show where we have our robots, there's one, her name is Chrome. She's the main robot, the first one that was created. Her final look is not decided. We have a full NFT campaign where we've created 11,111 NFTs. So these are different versions of the robots, but we're going to have to narrow it down. And so we want our community to vote on that. We want to give you a few things, and then we actually use it in the production. Same thing in our superhero movies. Same thing in our period pieces. We want you to be involved and know what's going on. And so I love the idea of being intimately involved with our community. It helps us. It helps you. It helps all of us grow together.
Well, I think that's a great thing. I mean, I know that our community certainly is the lifeblood of INX. That's how INX began. Really was from the community, and I think I did 40,000 answers to questions in our community during our raise. So I think it's great that you're going to be involved there, and you're going to bring in some of your team in your Discord channel to talk to investors, to really give them a feel for what they're investing in and who they're talking to. So I think that's fantastic. Tell me about the tokenomics. Like, what exactly is someone buying when they buy an Advent token?
So the fun part about this is that we've had a lot of time to put this together and to think about it. In the securities world, when you do it, with a company like INX, you also get a lot of great advice. So the way that we've done it, we want to, number one, reward you really well. So if you buy the token, currently they're $1. We have them at 90 cents for the first 2 weeks. We're going to extend that another couple weeks so that you can buy it actually at a 10% discount. But we want to initially, from the profits of our company, 80% of those are going to go back to you as a token holder until you've recouped 125%. You've got your whole principal back plus another 25%. And then after that, you will get a constant ongoing royalty of 10% of everything that comes out. And this isn't limited only to the films. It also includes, ancillary things like video games, merchandising, also any real estate that we do. We have plans to build a studio, as we ramp up in production, and then also a city walk that's kind of like an entertaining area that will involve things like augmented reality, virtual reality, pull you in, help you to see things that you've never seen before. And so the profits from all of those are going to go back to token holders, and then an ongoing royalty. There's also 10% equity is attached to this token. And so you really truly get equity in the company on top of the fact of having a token that, it could go up and down. We can't say where it'll exactly go in value. But on top of dividends, royalties, you also have equity.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. And I think that one question we got is this open to Australia? The answer is yes, absolutely. Australians can buy this. And I think if our securities company is open to you in your country, then yes, you can purchase this. Now in the US, you've got to be an accredited investor, but outside the US, you don't. So we encourage people to take a look. Come and take a look. So we've got the tokenomics. We understand really two of the largest properties. When I think about merchandising, the movie everyone always points to and they say the movie is going to be, that makes X amount of money. But that then gets off, and that goes off to a lot of different people. But then the merchandising, because you own this IP, the merchandising as well could be a terrific thing. When the Advent robots take off, or when Legion of Five takes off, and everyone wants one of these little toys at Christmas time or whenever, then a certain percentage of that's going to go back to the token holders.
It will. And what you do find out, some people in the film industry think of like theatrical releases and filming as advertising for the toys. If you think about, just think about Christmas shopping. Shrek came out years ago, and still there are Shrek toys out there. You have the Pixar movies, you have Buzz Lightyear, you have all of these things. It goes on and on and on and on. And quite often the merchandising is more profitable than the actual film itself in theatrical, TV, and digital releases. And so we are going to take advantage of every revenue stream that we can. And that, of course, comes back to token holders as well.
I'm still buying Star Wars stuff for my kids, and and one of them's 20 years old. So for sure, that sort of thing, as well as a lifetime, I guess, of royalties that would end up coming towards these token holders.
It definitely does. And we've talked a little bit about Advent robots and this side. Also talked about the superhero movie and Stan Lee and the universe we're making there. But we've got 3 films that we're doing that are actual full 3D animation, and that's a core of what we do. My past partner in my company, I had a company called Sandman Studios previously. His name's Steven Sabisky. He had worked at DreamWorks on Shrek for 5 years, and that is a skill set that we have. We have a skill set to make 3D animated feature films. And so those films really are those, like you said, the kids love them. They watch them again and again. And anyone that's a parent, they'll say, have you seen, have your kids seen Toy Story? Well, it's not, have they seen it? It's how many times? They've seen it 30 times. Or how many times have they watched Moana? You look at that, the kids love it. And so when they go to the stores, they see the toys, they want Moana, they want, Shrek, they want all of these toys. And so we want to take advantage of that market as well. And because we love animation, we have several projects in that venue as well. And I'll share those in our Discord. I'll share some things on that. We have one called Starlight. We have another one called Bo and the Beanstalk. And we have one called Humbug, which is a Christmas-centered one.
Awesome. Now, why on earth did you decide to do a security token?
I love that, and thank you for the question. Years ago, there was a company that was financing one of our projects, and they were also financing a token. And this was 5 years ago, and not many people knew about Bitcoin or securities or anything like that. But I then got intimately. They were also financing a a cryptocurrency at the time. And I got involved in it and I got to learn it. And as I did, I saw this incredible world opening up with cryptocurrency and how that worked. But then I also saw that this is something that soon will be regulated. It's going to become standardized. And so back in 2018, I made the determination that I wanted to be the first one out with a digital security. And what it does, it gives you, number one, a little bit more liquidity. When you work with a company like INX, they take care of all of the things that we need for securities and all of that. It also opens us up to a worldwide community. So it's not something that's just very private in your area. It becomes worldwide. And with INX, truly, like you had mentioned there, in Australia, you can buy it. In Asia, you can buy it. You can buy it in Europe. All of the places where INX is. And our goal was to build a community that is worldwide. And so we love that idea of working with a security token and making it kind of a pathway for other companies to follow, because I believe this is the future. I believe that the future is in digital securities.
That's great. Thank you very much. We've got a couple of questions that have come in on the comments chat here. One is, can you share the Discord server? So that's a question for my tech guys. The Discord server, if you could put a link to that in all of our socials, that would be great, I think, and to be able to direct people towards where they can really talk to Lee directly and the management team there. Another one would say, here's someone that's here right directly to you here, Lee. When you say they hire you for the productions because of your skills, what skills do you mean exactly?
Thank you. Yeah, the particular skills that we have are 3D animation and then visual effects. So anytime you see, when you see on TV shows the making of a movie and they show the green screen. So we'll put everything that's in the green screen. Or if we need to add items into it, like we'll build a car or a tank and we'll put it in there. Or we'll generate crowds. Like, they'll have a scene and they shoot it and they only have, 10 people in there, and then we put in 1,000 more. And so what we do is we take computers. So, people come into our office. It's a whole bunch of computers. You look at the computer screens and people are in there working on a shot, and then they put things in, and a lot of it's compositing, layering, things like that. And so it's really the computer side that we're highly skilled in. And then full 3D animation. They hire us to do video games and build the assets for them. And so we build all of the different assets. And for example, that Spider-Man image that you saw, a lot of times when you're doing like a box cover for a video game, they'll illustrate it. They'll get a really great illustrator. And we took it a step further. We actually built the 3D model and positioned Spider-Man exactly how we wanted it. And when we're working with them, we say, okay, do you like this angle or that angle? And we can change it and give them a bunch of different angles and then polish it at the end. And so the skills that they hire us for are to make their movies look really great in the visual effects and the animation side.
Are there any countries you're working with specifically outside the US that you're finding a big pickup in your business or in your work? Work very well right now with Korea. We've been talking about doing things with K-comics and K-pop. It's a very big thing in Asia, this kind of K-pop and working with the music people there. One of our close partners, a gentleman named Augustine Kim, his son is a music producer in Korea, and we have a lot of access to things out there. And we're working with some of the artwork of a very famous person in Korea called Shin Moon-soo. And so if you're from Korea, you will know him. Expect an NFT campaign to be coming out about involving some of his work as well. Excellent. Thank you. I guess, we've been talking, though, I think, when we first talked, it must have been about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago. And so I guess over that time, you've been developing the IP, you've been working harder in building your team, getting it together, and I guess coming to this finish line. What about it do you think has been the most, where's the struggle been? Where have the challenges been when you've been thinking about doing a security token, or as you've been putting together this IP? How on earth did you, let's say, for example, get 50% of Legion of Five? So yeah, I'll answer it in a couple levels there. First off, with
getting the IP. The IP has been something, we've developed over the years, and several of them I have written myself. And so at that point, I'm an owner in it. With I guess the challenges that we've had in the security token side is that it's a new world. When I first started this idea of developing a security token, it was in 2018. And so that, predates, things like most exchanges that can do that. And so I didn't have anywhere to put it. I found that I was trying to build a security token, but I had no exchange to put it on. I was then introduced to an exchange out of London called Archax, and they were wonderful. They loved the project, loved everything there. But then they found that, that wasn't really their wheelhouse either. It was hard to find a home. Archax actually recommended me to INX. I met with Doug about a year and a half ago, right, Doug? Yeah. And at that time, INX was, flourishing and moving forward and getting everything in order. But a lot of it has been the regulations and getting everything in order. We are at a point right now where it's ready. And so we're ready to go forward. And then let me just give you a little bit of an insight, your final part of your question, the Stan Lee project and how I got involved in that. We of course had the relationship with Stan and their company, and the head of their company is a gentleman named Gil Champion. Wonderful, wonderful person. We had worked with them previously, but then a producer had put this deal together to create Legion of Five with Stan Lee, and we initially bid on it to be a visual effects house. We won the bid, and then over time became partners with a gentleman named Cord Beatty, and we took it over. He had some areas of concern as he was putting it together. We took care of those. We took care of a note that he had, and we became the owner with Stan Lee. And so it's all a process. But what I have really found is that the most important thing is to be a very honest, transparent, and trustworthy business person. And then people want to work with you. And so we've been lucky in that venue, and these relationships are what will help us with studios, with distribution, with production. And we've got a great team of people that will help us make this at the highest levels. And one thing that I've found, and it's kind of a constant in everything that I do, is that if you surround yourself with the most talented and greatest people, the things that you make come out incredible. And just for a quick example, I do a lot with artists and programmers. And when I come in, I'll bring them a package and I'll say, this is what I want it to look like. And here are the concepts, and here are examples and all of this. And the thing that I love is that the magic occurs. And I come back a week and a half or 2 weeks later, and it's way better than what I had initially planned. And so when you work with talented people, you get incredible results. And so that's why, as we've assembled our team, we've wanted to pick and choose the top tier people that we've worked with, over the years.
Awesome. Thank you. So, this is limited, I think, to 2,000 investors. And it sounds like for the next 2 weeks, you're going to be doing it 90 cents rather than at $1. So it's sort of like, first in gets it at the 90 cents rather than at the dollar. And, to buy it, you can buy it, I believe, with USDC, with Ethereum, or with dollar wire transfers. And you go through the INX site. It should be pretty self-explanatory on how to do that. If you have any questions, obviously go in the INX Telegram group and we can help you, or go in the Discord server for Advent and Entertainment, and you can get help there as well. I think we're really excited. I mean, this is one of the things sort of that I think that we talked about. We had videos, we did YouTube videos when we came out, when INX came out. And this I think is one of the great examples that we gave, which was, you can invest in types of things like this, an IP that could turn into a movie, or an IP that could turn into all sorts of different opportunities. And then, obviously I ran into you, Lee, and here we are. So I think it's a very exciting opportunity. I hope people take a read of your PPM, learn about what you're doing, see, what the benefits that can come from this, and, come on in, take a look.
And with that, Doug, thank you so much. When I was growing up, I was a comic book collector. I collected both DC comic books and Marvel comic books. I loved Stan Lee from the beginning, and then I was also a fan of Star Wars. I remember when I was 6 years old seeing the first Star Wars in the theater, And I was amazed. I was blown away. I love that magic. And it's been something that's been with me my whole life. And I remember, growing up, I always thought, how could I get involved in that? Not just in watching it, but the profits of it. These studios are massive. They make a lot of money. These productions make a lot of money. The ancillary things make a lot of money. Imagine the opportunity to come in and at ground level be able to participate, in the profits of those types of productions. And I love the idea that we can do that, and it's in a flexible thing like a security token.
Well, I don't think people have to imagine anymore because you're giving them the opportunity, which is great.
That's
well,
right.
Anyway, Lee, thank you very much. Thanks for telling us about your team, about the different projects you're working on, and the tokenomics. I think that there's a lot of things for people to chew on. Obviously, they can find out a lot more information on your website, adventtoken.com. They can also find out more on the INX site when you go to the investment tab, and you can look at it over on the left-hand side. If you're on the trading screen, click on the dots up on the top left-hand side, and you can scroll down there and find Advent Entertainment, and then read about your PPM. We have that online, and read all about it. And if you're interested, invest. So thank you very much, Lee.
And in the chat, just as a quick note, I've put in the Discord channel link along with Advent Token and Advent Entertainment. So please feel free to go to any of those sites or all of them, find out information and learn more about us, and then come join us. I'd love to talk to you in Discord and in the different channels.
Well, let me see if I can do something here. Okay, good. Well, thank you very much, Lee. Excellent. Great seeing you again. And we'll be talking a lot more in the next couple of days, but thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And thank you for everybody watching and joining in today. We look forward to working with you in the future.
All right. Thank you.
Newton witnessed an apple falling and discovered gravity. Ruth Graves tried to bake a cake and accidentally discovered chocolate chips. Tracy Chapman was busking her way to her big break. We all wish for one opportunity, one unexpected chance to succeed, one rare possibility to change our lives forever. We can't all wait for an apple to fall, but we all want to be in the right place at the right time, where opportunities are carefully suggested and possibilities are available to all. INX One, wealth of investment opportunities.